Warning, we're about to spoil Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. If you haven't seen the movie and plan on watching it, leave now and come back later. But if you have seen it, or you just don't care, then please, stick around. You know, Freddy's kind of a fucking loser. He gets killed by someone not believing in him, and the power of love.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cinema Roulette. So, this movie today, I'm interested to see how this turns out, because we do have things to say on it. I just don't know how much we're going to say on it. So,
Yeah. This is the black sheep of one of the series on the sellout wheel.
in a series here that surprisingly has multiple black sheeps in it. So,
Multiple being two.
yes.
There are two.
But
Not hard to count.
there's still more than one, so...
Fuck, segues are hard.
Nightmare.
What?
It's Nightmare 2, guys.
Yeah, it's Nightmare on Elm Street 2. Freddy's Revenge. That what? Well, I don't. Okay. Well, we went quiet, but
I love it. Sorry, that was partially my fault for talking over you.
yeah, but we don't have. I have like no connection to this movie. I watched it once when I was first getting into horror movies. I was like, okay.
This movie is an interesting one because people have always said that they hate this movie. There's been a lot that people say, "Ooh, it's a terrible movie. We're one of the worst Nightmare, blah blah." And I never thought it was all that bad. It's not amazing. I'm not saying it's a good Nightmare movie, but I was always in the minority where it was I think it's a pretty good horror movie because the stuff that is good is really good. It has some issues that do in fact weigh it down. But it's far from the worst of the series. The worst is widely considered 4 or 5.
The worst is the remake now.
Well, now, but in the series that we're covering, at least.
I think people would still debate that 2 is one of the weakest.
Well, yeah, it is. But I'm saying, I know 4 or 5 isn't usually held in regard, nor is 6, but we like 6 just for the hilarious camp value.
Oh yeah, 6 is often said to be the worst.
Yeah.
But we enjoy it. There are people who say New Nightmare's actually, now thinking about it, Nightmare has the weirdest debate on which is the worst.
Yeah,
it's not like Halloween or Friday the 13th where there's a good 2. There's either just one really bad one of Friday 5. No, I guess there's still debate of Jason Goes to Hell.
Yeah, but the thing about Nightmare that I think makes it really tricky for people to pin down, which is, quote unquote, the worst, is that even the worst ones still have really good elements to them. I think we can safely say that in the entire Nightmare series, the kills, in all the movies, are great.
Yeah, they never slack on the fucking practical effects.
And they get really, really fucked.
Especially later. Oh, especially next movie. Next movie is messed up.
I'm excited for Dream Warriors. Oof, that's going to be fun.
Which you can't stream anywhere, but you can still buy the Blu-rays, yep. So hey.
So that's how we're going to watch it.
I mean, you could rent it. I just mean it's not... There's no streaming service you can pay for. But anyway.
But yeah, Nightmare, I think it's just harder because all the kills are good. It still has some good tension in some scenes. And, I mean, Robert Englund is just always entertaining in every movie. He never half-asses it. He always gives it his all.
Yeah, he is Freddy Krueger. That is never going to be replaced no matter how many times they remake this fucking thing.
Exactly, so...
Because they're threatening another remake, but that's another story.
Because, I mean, it's just he defined the role. That's like how, J.K. Simmons playing J. Jonah Jameson in Spider-Man. You just kind of can't have anyone else in the role.
Honestly.
But, yeah, so this movie, too, and... one of the other problems is the kills, but we will get to that discussion after we do the little synopsis. That isn't going to take long, I don't think. So,
No, it isn't, because my notes are actually more just stuff to talk about because the plot is so simple.
It is. It's a very simple plot.
Okay. So we have a 20-something high school boy named Jesse. Jesse moved into the nightmare house. Luckily, this house will never be mentioned again in the series. Ever.
Anyone who's seen the series knows that is a lie.
That is a lie. If you did a binge watch of all the movies and you play a drinking game anytime they showed the full-on front of this house, you would be dead by the end.
Yep.
But Jesse is sleeping in the... Oh, what's Nancy's last name?
Thompson?
Nancy Thompson, yeah. He's in the old Thompson house. Which also, Nancy is still alive in this canon? I don't know. I don't remember if any of the other Nightmare movies even referenced to.
I'm not sure if they did either, actually, so...
But they do, at the very least, say that Nancy's... spoilers for the first Nightmare on Elm Street as well. Surprise, in the sequel will spoil the first movie.
Yeah.
I don't know. I went on a tangent that... Okay, hold on.
You're fine, just keep going, it's all good.
My fucking brain. Either way, Nancy's mother died, and I think she was just committed, basically.
Mm-hmm. To the... Yeah.
But Jesse's living there, and spoilers, he's getting fucking Freddy Krueger dreams. And he's trying to figure out what the hell's going on. Freddy keeps teasing him and basically saying, hey, could you, like, just kill people for me? Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
I'll give you this cool glove and everything.
And then he does give the glove, and Jesse's always like, I don't want this. It's like, you're gonna keep it anyway. Freddy kills some birds. Like, they also find Nancy's diary. He and his girlfriend Lisa find Nancy's diary.
Just want to say this now real quick. We will get back to that bird scene.
Oh, that's hilarious to me. I want to talk about that bird scene so much. But anyway. Lisa and Jesse find the book, and it's like, oh, fuck. I have a demon inside. They retcon Freddy dying in a school, and now he brought kids to a factory, I guess, to kill them.
Yeah, he was like a factory worker now, which I'm pretty sure they do retcon just in the next movie. So
yeah. Also, there was a gay BDSM gym coach who was a dick to Jesse and his friend Grady. And then Jesse, after having a nightmare, he goes to a gay bar to have a drink, but then the gym teacher, catches him and makes him run laps. But then I guess they both fall asleep at the gym. And then Freddy kills the gym teacher, but it was actually Jesse. And Jesse's freaked the fuck out that he might have murdered someone.
Understandably so.
And he's kind of losing his mind at this point, because he almost kills his sister, and his parents are on his case thinking that he's either fucking crazy or his dad just thinks he needs to man up.
Well, they think he's either crazy or he's just on drugs.
Oh, yeah, he's on drugs.
Like, his mom thinks he's going crazy and his dad thinks. Because he pulls him aside for it. He's like, okay, just be honest with me. Which ones are you doing?
What the fuck are you on, and where could I get some?
Yeah, pretty much.
But, also there's a party happening on the weekend at Lisa's. Because of course there's a fucking party. It's a slasher movie with teens.
Exactly. Of course they're going to party and have plenty of premarital sex. And horror movie people, and horror movie villains hate that. They hate their premarital sex.
And He's having fun.
Yeah, God
Fucking
forbid.
boomers, man.
I know.
But the party happens. Jesse and Lisa kind of get on, even though Jesse's in fucking mental breakdown mode.
Yeah.
But while they're fucking in a bungalow, is it a bungalow? I forget where.
I forget what it is. Like they say what it is, but
It was basically a side room next to the pool party.
how very Australian of us are, bungalow.
A bungalow. But as he's about to fuck her, a Freddy tongue comes out of him and licks her. He's like, oh, nope, 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 I'm going.
Because
He just breaks into Jesse's house.
Yeah.
Like, we don't find out how he got in there, but he got in there.
He just broke into his fucking house. Like, I don't know if it was implied. Well, yeah, because the party's at his house, right?
No, it was a house away.
Oh, because I thought
he leaves the party.
I thought like they jumped through the house and then into the party or something. So party was at the neighbor's house or something.
I guess, or they just live close by. Yeah, because remember. Well, hold on. Let me continue with my thing, and then I'll say how the houses aren't connected.
You're good.
He tells Jesse, "Yo, make sure can you just watch me sleep? And if anything weird happens, wake me the fuck up." And Jesse, being kind of a cool dude, is like, "Okay, not Jesse. Grady." Grady's like, okay, yeah, sure. Grady waits a bit and is like, yeah, you're not doing anything. Night. And then immediately Jesse has a nightmare. But Freddy comes through his body. Like, you see this pretty sick-ass transformation of his glove coming out of Jesse's fingers, and Freddy rips off the rest of his skin. He locks the door because he has telepathic powers in the real world now, and kills Grady. Jesse gets some control back, and he's like, oh, fuck, I murdered someone again, and runs out of there. He heads back to Lisa's, covered in blood, and she's just like, no, that did... As he explains what happened, she's like, no, that's not possible. As he's covered in blood.
Yeah, I was going to say, the man is kind of just covered in blood. Can't...
Like, just drenched in the stuff. Then Freddy takes over Jesse's body again, this time coming out fully as Freddy. He fights Lisa a bit, but even though he has magic powers now, he is pretty easily... He's still beaten by real-world things of, like, just getting hit in the fucking face a bunch. But then he runs out to the pool party and just causes mayhem, summoning fire, electrifying the fence, boiling the pool.
Yeah.
Just lots of people dead. They run back to the power plant where Freddy used to take the kid. Well, Freddy runs off. Lisa follows because Lisa's parents came down with a shotgun.
Yeah, just straight up. Like, they're about ready to just shoot fucking Freddy Krueger.
Which, I mean, it worked. It will have worked.
Yeah.
Lisa goes after Freddy because it's still... Jesse's still in there. They go back to the power plant, the retcon power plant that I'm pretty sure is ignored later. And through the power of love, through the power of love and burning him alive, yeah. Jesse beats Freddy Krueger.
And that's it. It's easy as that.
Well, then we get ending like the first movie where it seems like everything's back to normal, but then weird shit happens and turns out they're still in a dream, and Frey still might have won. Whatever.
Ooh.
Movie ends.
Yeah. Like, that's basically like a run-of-the-mill horror movie cliffhanger thing.
Yeah, everyone is possibly dead.
Yep. So... yeah, that was Nightmare 2. I think the first thing that we have to talk about, because it's such a prominent and thing that just sticks out in the movie, is this movie has some gay overtones.
Yes, we did say last episode we'd probably watch the documentary, I think it's called Scream Queens, and talk about it here as well. We did not due to time.
Yeah, we've kind of both been busy.
Yeah, we might cover it as a bonus episode down the road. But for now, this is going to be just first impressions, and then we'll be able to cover that later.
Yes.
But even without it, there are some There's some gay vibes.
Oh, there's some serious gay vibes. And like that's the movie. I think that's what this movie is most remembered for in canon, is being, the one with the gay or whatever. And I can't even
the gay one.
Yeah. And I can't even tell if it's anti-gay or like gay, like for gay. It's really weird because it does point out some mental health things, actually, I think. So, because there was a guy on Letterboxd who left this really angry review saying about how homophobic it was or whatever, and like how like his gayness is portrayed as something horribly bad or some shit. And I'm not sure if I got that from the movie, but
I can see that in a way.
It was
like, I understand that take because he only does go to the gay bar because of the nightmare he has with Freddy.
Yeah.
And his teacher, who is straight up just said to be gay.
Yeah, they literally say, and besides the fact they show him in SM gear at a nightclub, they straight up say that he's gay.
Yeah, he is a complete unlikable asshole.
Yeah. And in hindsight, really, that theme just kind of seems unnecessary because they don't really do anything with it.
Actually, no, I'm seeing the homophobic angle.
Yeah.
Because also, if you're going by the idea of Freddy is symbolism of the gay.
Yeah.
Because he only also does fully, quote unquote, come out when he's with Grady.
Mm-hmm.
Lisa, the straight option, is the one that defeats it. Which, I see where you're getting at.
Same.
If I remember correctly from the trailer, the Scream Queens one does have a positive look towards the movie. So again, we'll have to see that.
It entirely depends on the filmmaker's intention, because especially being an 80s slasher flick, that's kind of a line that you have to be really careful with, because obviously back then, gay people were not portrayed as in a positive light. They weren't, arguably up until the mid 2000s, frankly.
Even then, they were still a punchline.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. Like we obviously, me and Justin are both in the LGBT community, and I've always heavily supported the LGBT community, but it's just back then, I guess, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of the filmmaker's intentions behind it. Yeah, and I guess we won't really know.
Could have just been nothing. There's a chance too that there was no intention there, and people have read into this because it happens.
It happens. It's a thing in the movie, and just bringing that up in the first place kind of plants the idea then in people's minds that, oh, they're going to do something with it, and you then have to be very careful which direction you take it. So
yeah, that's true. Once you drop that bomb, you drop that fucking bomb.
Yeah.
Type deal.
So yeah, and it's a very prominent theme. So was it handled correctly? We don't know.
I could see the argument for no. I'm not really sure on the argument for yes. So, we'll probably have to cover the documentary. That'll probably be a bonus episode on Wednesday. I don't know when though.
So at this point in time, I think it's safe to say we both don't know how to feel about that, and I think we'll find out once we do the documentary. So look forward to that.
But it's such a prominent part of this movie that we needed to mention here.
Yes. So, and yeah, so it has a lot of gay themes. What are some of the issues? Should we talk about the issues first or the positive?
We can talk about the bad before we get to the good.
Because it does have some problems. I think the biggest detriment to the movie is its lack of kills, frankly.
Oh, I was going to say Lisa.
Well, yeah. We'll go into Lisa first then.
Lisa is... Well, this is also talking a bit about the good, because Jesse, by far, is fantastic.
He is a great actor, yes.
He puts his all into it, and you can really see his fucking moral torment over all things that are going on.
Yeah.
He sells this perfectly, which is a real shame that the main side character he's with all the time is Lisa, because Lisa feels like she phoned it in super hard.
Yeah. His
I
name
don't
is
know if it's the script or the actress, but
yeah.
neither are helpful.
The actor's name is Mark Patton.
For Jesse?
For Jesse, yeah, Mark Patton. And he does a fantastic fucking job.
Great scream queen for a guy.
Yes, exactly. And he does scream. My God, he screams.
He has a great scream,
Yeah,
honestly. That's also a thing you need in a horror movie.
Yeah. Yeah, she is kind of just outacted by him in a couple scenes. It's unfortunate.
Yeah, again, just the one I will always point to is when he comes after killing fucking Grady, covered in blood. She's like, "No, this couldn't have happened,
No. Yeah.
lady. What room are you in?"
He is covered in blood. Like, something fucking happened. You can't say it was all in your head, because whether or not he killed a man, something happened.
Yeah. Yo, she would just get in a car crash with Jesse. They're wrapped around a fucking tree, and she'd be like, "You're still a good driver. Don't worry."
Right? No, it's fine. That tree was in your way.
It's the tree's fault you decided to make a hard right there on a straight road.
Yeah. So that's just an unfortunate thing in the movie.
Yeah, she has a lot of bad reads. She's not well written.
Yeah, we feel kind of bad.
Kind of an idiot.
Yeah, we feel kind of bad because, like, we don't want to chalk it up to the actress, because that could entirely be A, the script, B, the direction, or C, both. So, like, they might have just
be her own experience at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's been I don't know what else she's been in. She could be great in those.
Mm-hmm.
Just here, no.
Here, it's unfortunate, and, like, we both kind of felt bad for her.
And what was the other thing you said was bad?
The lack of kills in this movie.
Yeah, especially after the first movie. Like, the first Nightmare doesn't have the most impressive kills, except for the opening one is fucking rad as shit.
Oh, yeah. Well, and let's be, this is the one where, like, he goes along the wall and shit. Like,
yeah, where they lift her up and
Yeah.
move her around the room. Well, also there's the fountain of blood. Yeah, but there's also the hanging. Like,
yeah.
there's a good mix of kills in the first one, but in this you get 2 technically, and then you have the party.
Yeah, it's because it's the coach, and then it's his friend.
Yeah, and Grady, who they do a solid job of showing without showing type deal, because he's like impaled. Like, Freddy holds him up and then stabs him against the door, and you just see his reaction, and then the other side of the door is the bloody knives come through and go down.
And that's the thing that I think hurts, is when the kills do happen, they're rad as shit.
Yeah, they were probably trying to go for the less is more type deal, like, so that way the gore would feel shocking when it did finally come through.
Yeah.
But once you already had in the first movie a fucking blood volcano, I don't know if you're really able to do that.
Yeah. Because and, like, I do love the first kill in the bathroom or whatever. Like, it has some good shots, some cool cinematography. But the thing is, the kill of the coach and the Grady's death, those happen. That's like an hour apart, isn't it?
Yeah,
because the coach's death
I'm
is
pretty sure.
What?
I'm pretty sure the coach's death is the midway point of the movie.
Well, it's either midway point or, like, the end of the first act or something at the earliest. So
yeah,
I
think it was later than the first. I think first act ends when they find Nancy's diary.
That makes sense. But yeah, those are the only 2 kills, and then the party scene. And the reason I brought up the lack of kills is because the party scene kind of goes into it, because there's a lot of problems we have with the party scene.
Well, this relates to the movie as a whole too.
Yeah.
Of just, it doesn't feel like, it feels like Freddy isn't Freddy.
Yeah. Because my biggest problem is the giant plot hole in the movie of, once he comes into the real world, he loses his power.
Yeah, we established this in the first film.
That was like a major plot point in the first film, and that's actually how they defeated Freddy, was bringing him into the real world. That was the whole climax of the movie. And
Yeah.
here, like, he's in his head or whatever, and he like jumps through a window, disappears, and then he's just in the real world now. So
Yeah, he jumps out of the ground. Again, he makes the pool boil people alive. He electrifies the fence and summons fire.
Which, yeah, we established in the first movie that can't happen. So already in the first fucking sequel, you're going back on what you said.
Yeah, you're going back on what you said, and something that we will ignore for the rest of the movies.
Yeah. And the thing about the party scene, too, is I feel like it was kind of possibly shoehorned in the movie because we need more kills, possibly. Like, they might have just
that would make sense.
Because the thing is, the scene itself is actually really well shot and kind of really cool how it's done. But it does feel like the idea from the scene was kind of came from, you know, we need more death in this movie, so let's just have him go crazy at a party.
Yeah, we need a body count.
Yeah. And like there's some cool moments in it too, like where Freddy like has his glove and the fire comes behind him where he's like, "You're all my children now," or whatever. I'm like, that was badass. But it's just that whole scene is just silly, and he's not intimidating in the pool scene. Like he has some cool kills, but it's just
Yeah, they don't let him talk enough to be intimidating during that scene, so it's just kind of an orchestra of death.
Yeah, which is cool, but it's like, you know, you have Freddy fucking Krueger, one of the most entertaining slashers of all time, and he's just running around slashing people, not saying anything. Like,
He's just stabbing dudes. That's it.
you can throw a one-liner in there or something like one liner or two, like he's boiling everybody.
What do you want to say? Fucking cool party?
Yeah, right? Well, that would have been very Freddy, wouldn't it have? Like, that's totally something...
Cool party.
Yeah, that's totally something I could hear him saying, especially in one of the later campier movies. He's like, "Hey, cool party, slash."
But let's heat things up.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. So that's what makes Freddy great. Bro, if this was made nowadays, he would totally say, "Man, this party is lit."
I fucking hate that you're right. I hate that you're right.
And I think here another issue I think I kind of had was that that's when we both. I was just trying to think of how to words it, where to go from here.
What's the issue?
Because it tries to be more of a psychological horror movie than outright horror, and the psychological horror stuff is really good. And I think this is the biggest problem with the movie, is that you could have replaced Freddy with anybody and it still would have worked. And arguably better than if it was tied to Nightmare.
Yeah, because, well, the whole idea of the tension is it Jesse just killing people or is it Freddy? But since we saw the first movie, we know Freddy's the killer.
Yeah.
If you took Freddy out of it and made it just some demon with the spiked hands, whatever. Sure, people would compare it to Nightmare because it's a dream demon. But it would have at least been a little bit more of, is he or is he not?
Yeah, because that's what most of the tension derives from in the movie, or at least what they're trying to drive it from, is Jesse going crazy or not? That's the main issue. Is it all in his head, or is it actually Freddy? And you're right. Even if people would have compared it to Nightmare, you would have had more tension because you don't know if it's in his head or not. Like Freddy, you know he's a dream demon.
Yeah, we've been over this.
Yeah. It was just like a different kind of demon or like a different kind of killer or something. You know, it would have probably worked better. And I think you said this after you watched it. It's like, if this didn't have Freddy in it or wasn't tied to Nightmare, it might have been remembered a little more fondly.
Yeah, it would have probably gotten a little more praise. And, well, also just going on the Gamer of Freddy thing, this is kind of like if in the second Star Wars movie, they just were like, is Darth Vader a bad guy? We don't know.
Yeah, right? It's like, we've already established that Darth Vader is literally the epitome of evil. Like, that's what makes, just a quick side thing, that's what makes Star Wars work, is that it's literally just good versus evil. We've established this. That's all it is.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just bugs me that it's like, is Freddy real? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Nancy already you showed Nancy's journal and went through the shit we already know. So yes, he's real.
Yeah, exactly. And you lose a lot of the tension that way. And that kind of segues into the good. So is there any other negatives you can think of, or?
I could think of a thing that's both good and bad.
Okay. Yeah, I'd say we'll do
Uh,
that then. Is there anything else you want to say on that, or are we good?
Not that I can think of at the moment.
All right.
But let's talk about the bird scene. Because we did leave out a kill. The bird. So Jesse's family has 2 lovebirds.
Yep.
And they put a blanket over the cage in one scene, because they need to sleep. And then, I guess Freddy fucking takes over one of the birds because they were asleep, tears out the throat of the one of the lovebirds. The bird flies out of the cage, flies around the room, kind of slices at is it the father's cheek or is it Jesse's cheek?
It's the father's cheek.
Like, dive scratches the father's cheek and then just bursts into fucking flames.
Yeah, like it doesn't even explode into gore or anything. No, this is like fire. It explodes into fire.
Just poof. It's fucking dead.
That bird exploded.
That bird. Yeah. Oh
and this thing that it was just hilarious seeing this unfold. But what makes it even fucking funnier is everybody's reactions afterwards, because the dad blames Jesse for it, and he's like, oh, well, you set off a firecracker and made the one aggravated, so that's why it went on a murder spree.
Yeah, Jesse shoved a firecracker up the bird's ass and trained it to kill its fucking partner.
It doesn't make any goddamn sense why the dad is blaming Jesse. It's like, really? You think he orchestrated this?
I also love the fact that Freddy just got so bored waiting for Jesse to go to sleep. He was like, I'm gonna kill a bird.
Yeah. That is actually hilarious.
What did a lovebird catch the Molotov in the air and help it into the fucking building he was hiding in?
Right? Like, what the fuck? It's like, wow, the script. I only have 2 kills in the script. Well, something has to happen between them.
I'm gonna get this bird. Fuck that bird.
Yeah.
It's just such a random scene. It has no point in the movie.
It really doesn't, except to try to, like, you have the scene in there to try to, like, add tension or be scary, but it's neither. It's just hilarious.
Which also, if you're going for the idea of is Jesse the killer or not, maybe blowing up the birds wasn't the greatest hint at if Freddy's real or not.
Actually, that's a very good point. It's like, okay, going by the, movies playing with it, like going by the logic that Freddy isn't real, how the fuck would Jesse have done that?
Well, he might have put a firecracker up the bird's ass.
Like, what the hell?
And he trained it to attack even though he was on the other side of the room.
I was gonna say, that's the thing. It's like Jesse was there when it started attacking people and going nuts. And you didn't see him doing anything, so how in the fuck would he have done that? When would he have set off said firecracker? He was right next to you, literally. What, did he have like a remote detonated firecracker? Like, how the fuck do you think he did this? It's so ludicrous.
He ran to one side of the room, lit it, ran back. His mother put the fucking thing on.
It's so stupid and on multiple levels that it just, oh my god. Oh, that scene.
That scene's so much fun.
That will stick with me. I will say, even if I forget other things about this movie, that will always stick for me because it does just come right the fuck out of nowhere.
Honestly.
I was gonna say earlier, like, what kills me about this and like the tension not being
kills.
What? Oh, hey.
Kills.
Hey. But yeah, what kills me is that it's very well shot from a technical standpoint. And what this film nails down a lot is atmosphere. The atmosphere is really good in this film. And it's really ominous at points.
Yeah, and actually, with the camera work, it clearly takes inspiration from stuff like Kubrick and Evil Dead a lot of the time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Evil Dead, I can absolutely see the influence there, especially with the basketball scene or whatever, the scene in the locker room where all the balls are flying at him.
Yeah, well, I was thinking more of because there's a moment with the POV camera kind of driving around.
Yes.
That was super Evil Dead.
Yeah, and it was great. That's the thing. Like, the psychological horror aspects, like, from a technical standpoint, like, they would have worked so well. And I also love the scene in the gym, too, where it's, like, kind of foggy or whatever, and he's running around it and shit. It's, like, it's just really good atmosphere. And
yeah, that was the one that kind of felt very Kubrick to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, very Kubrick, and that felt like something out of Silent Hill. You know, like if you're in the school in the gym and it's not the other world, that's what it'd be. It'd just be fog. But
yeah, it nails that feel, and again, Jesse's acting helps with this.
Oh, yeah. He really sells it, and he does a fantastic job. So, and that's why I kind of lament what this could have been, because if you cut out Freddy and made it its own separate movie, it probably would have worked really well.
Yeah, like it may not be a 8 or 9 out of 10, but it would have been a solid 7.
Yeah, and the sound design is also really good. The music adds a lot of tension and creepiness to it.
Oh, it's a fantastic score. They at least kept that between the movies.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, that's the one thing about Nightmare is all of the movies have a great score.
I don't remember if that's true.
Well, we'll find out, won't we, here on Cinema Roulette?
We'll find out within 5 years.
Yeah, God. I love it. We have our work cut out for us, ladies and gents.
I was actually talking to Weeby Gamer, and he fucking said, "Is like, you guys think you might have done it? You might have done a bit much." And it's like, nah,
not really.
Oh, we just have probably, like, if we actually add up all the content, maybe like we could probably go for 10 years at this point.
You think? I mean, if we add on the things that we're thinking of adding, that it, like, officially, that the wheels that we have made and are going to do is what, 5 to 7 years?
It's probably longer now because we have we have something after the director's wheel as well. So
Yep. That's gonna be longer.
That might be
so.
8.
Yes. and two, the thing is, too, once we live together, that will help immensely.
Yeah, we might be able to do 2 a week, but we'll see.
Yeah. So
that's for the future. That's the future's problem.
It's not our problem right now. We're in the present. Sorry, future. Hope you're having fun.
I always hated past Justin ever since he made me put on weight.
Yeah, no, like I said, there's technical standpoint, great movie. So from that aspect, I mean, besides the who was her name, Lisa, in this movie?
Yes.
Besides Lisa, all the other actors do a good job too. Yeah.
Yeah, Robert Englund is still really fucking cool.
Of course, they tried to go for a little redesign on him, which kind of works, but it looks odd.
I like the redesign. It looks less pizza-y.
Yeah, it looks less like pizza and more like actual burn wounds.
The transformation scene of Jesse turning into Freddy, fucking fantastic. That made my skin crawl. Seeing like Freddy's vest come up through his arm and the skin tear apart.
Yeah, that was fantastic.
Vile as hell. So cool though.
Yeah, that was like something out of, John Carpenter's The Thing. The practical effects on that were fan-fucking-tastic. I was like, oh god, no.
I'd compare it to like American Werewolf in London, or is it The Howling I'm thinking of?
The Howling.
Yeah. With those werewolf transformations, it's on that level of fucking good.
It is. It's fan-fucking-tastic. You can tell a lot went into that practical effect, and it is great. It's like, that is the kind of practical effect you want to see in a horror movie, because it's just disturbing and gross, and but it's so cool.
And again, that kind of goes back to what we said earlier, where if it wasn't a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, and we weren't already expecting literal volcanoes of blood, that would have been shocking as hell to see for the movie.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say that would have made that scene 10 times more shocking.
I mean, it was still, again, it's still vile, and it makes your skin crawl, and it hurts to watch in the best way possible. But still, it kind of loses that edge due to the first movie.
Yeah, and that is the biggest problem. Is like in people's minds, it's part of the Nightmare on Elm Street movie. People have seen that, so therefore they're going to compare the two, whether they are conscious of it or not.
Yeah, honestly.
Because that's the thing. If it's a sequel, it is therefore a continuation of the first movie. So, by definition,
is how sequels work. Good job.
Yeah, by definition. I'm just saying. So people want to see like this is story progression that we're looking at. If the story progression is not good, then it's not gonna work. But yeah, actually, I think that's about it, huh?
Yeah, I can't think of much else to really say on the movie.
It was just overall, it was good. It had some good aspects, but it's slightly above average. It's not middle of the road. It's not meh. It's good. So I'd probably give it like a 6.
It sounded like you were going to continue there. You were just like, it's good.
Yeah. So I'd probably give it like a 6.5 out of 10. Really, it's not bad enough to be a 5 or a 6.
I like how sometimes we give ratings and sometimes we don't.
We do. I don't even care at this point, but we'll just do it how we feel. Okay.
That's fair enough. Yeah, I respect it. I remember not liking this movie the first time I watched it, but on rewatch, I respect for what it is. I still don't think it's a good nightmare movie, but it's a good movie.
I would agree with that. Yeah, it's still definitely worth a watch if you want to check it out. So,
yeah, it's not going to be a waste of time. It's only like, I think it was like 90 minutes or something.
Oh, it's less than 90 minutes. I think it was like 88 or something like that. But yeah,
it's not a long movie, and the pacing, besides in the middle where it gets a little bit, I forget if it felt, it felt a bit rushed in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted to. That's a downside I wanted to bring up. It does feel rushed at one point, like it just goes scene without much flow. Besides that, the pacing's fine. You'll get through it.
Yep. Also,
it was one.
Sorry.
It was one of those movies where, because I check the time whenever we're watching something, and it's whenever we're watching something on streaming because it's on HBO Max at the moment. And it's one of those movies where it's like, oh shit, we're already past the halfway point. Cool.
Yeah, I remember there was a point where he said, "Oh wow, are we at the pool scene already?"
Yeah, we were already at the end. It's like, oh, that was quick.
Also, one very, 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 very minor complaint: those lightning effects, man.
Oh yeah. Oh, the opening scene was really fucking cool and well done, except for they have it's Jesse on a bus that Freddy Krueger's driving it. Suddenly they're in a desert. The ground falls beneath them and there's hell or whatever.
Mm.
And they're on these like pillars of rocks. It's this really well done either model or what's the matte painting?
Yeah, matte painting, composite image, whatever you want to call it.
Whatever you want to call it. It looks really nice. And then all of a sudden they have these clearly drawn on lightning effects that just look terrible.
It's just really out of place, and it really detracts from the very clearly hard work that they put into that model.
Yeah.
So, they do it a couple times too. There's like one other scene later where he's like running and they show lightning. It's like, guys, that wasn't a good effect. Come on.
Guys, stop using it, please. Just stop.
Yeah. Which they do, thankfully, but
it wasn't good. It's the way it was used.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So yeah, that was Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, which, another minor thing, what's he getting revenge on? How is this his revenge?
Well, technically his whole point of existence is revenge for being murdered.
That's also true.
But then again, he's killing people in this movie who just moved into town. Like, they have no connection to killing him.
Fuck the newbies, I guess.
Just fuck everyone.
Oh, so yeah. Is it time?
Yes, it is time. Again, We're spinning this. We're spinning the sellout wheel 8 times. This is the 7th spin.
Mm-hmm.
And if we do not land on James Bond, because the sellout wheel is covered in movie series, every time we land on it, we watch the next movie in the series that we have to cover. If we do not land on James Bond this spin, next episode will be James Bond no matter what the wheel lands on. The episode after this next one.
Yeah, I know what you meant. So we are going to spin, and if this one is not James Bond, the one after that will be James Bond.
Yes, because James Bond has 25 movies, and we need to get through it at some fucking point.
I think it's 26, actually, but...
Whatever.
Yeah. I forget which number in No Time to Die. You were about right.
Either way.
It's been so long.
It's been a while, because we took a good couple of weeks to get through the first bit of Star. Yeah, Star's already come out.
Yep. Just came out today, in fact, when we're recording it.
Oh, really? Well, day before.
Day before, but yeah, well, it's late at night.
It is. Anyway, it is time to spin. You're just mean. You're so fucking mean,
What?
Wheel. It was an inch away from Bond.
What? Of course.
But we are actually doing a new series because I forgot to mention we also haven't done half this fucking wheel, even though we've spun it like 20 times and there's only 16 options.
Ooh,
but anyway,
interesting. Which one is it?
We are going to start the Man with No Name trilogy.
Oh yeah, Fistful of Dollars. Yes.
So where are we watching Yojimbo next?
Yeah, we're watching Not Yojimbo.
Not Yojimbo.
Once we get there on the director's wheel, you will know. You will see why that it's basically a shot-for-shot remake of Yojimbo, but it's cowboys instead of samurai now. So,
which is fine.
It's still a really good movie. But you will notice like entire scenes that play out exactly the way they do in Yojimbo, and it's like, oh yeah.
Yeah, so next is a Fistful of Dollars, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's Fistful of Dollars, $3 more than Good Bad. Got it.
Yep, and I recently got Justin the Blu-ray trilogy, which I have, so hooray!
The good Blu-ray version, because
Yes.
there's multiple versions.
And just I will mention it in that episode, so I think we'll just end this one.
You can mention it here too.
I guess I could. You know what? They completely changed the color timing of The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly, and it just looks terrible because for some reason they made it really oversaturated and really yellow in a lot of scenes.
I more meant telling them which version to get in case they want to watch the good.
Get the version that is... Oh, fuck. Well, how do I explain it? Trying to think.
Is it not named a certain thing?
It's not named a certain thing. I think it's just the Man with... Well, actually, it's called the Man with No Name trilogy. But there's another edition that was later that was also called that. It's a little confusing. It's the earlier Blu-ray. Link in description.
Yeah, we'll shove a link in the description in case you want it before the episode comes out.
So... All right, everybody. We will talk to you later then.
Or we won't. We might be dead.
Well, all depends on if those pesky bombs drop or not.
Anyway, see you next time, I guess.